John, just begin by outlining what your presentation here at the conference is about.
My presentation was on airport city planning for a regional economic asset.
And what are the key points of that?
The key points were the kind of strategic importance for Denver, and we are planning the airports, planning actually an airport city which we're going to unveil next week. And the point of the airport city is to protect the airport's ability to grow and then generate non-airline revenues that we can then put back into the growth of the airport.
Explain more about non-airline revenues. This is really key because in a way there's so much an airport can do in terms of traffic and building passenger numbers. Right,
so non-airline revenues are, we have two sources of revenue at an airport, like most airports. We can charge the airlines or we can generate revenue from commercial sources. And my group leads the commercial revenue generation. So that's things like parking, concessions, typical airport businesses. But in the case of Denver, we're very fortunate to have thousands of acres of developable land, which we can turn into an airport city, generating revenues and profits to then put back into the airport.
So you're presenting how to maximize that land that you have available and to make the most out of it, obviously.
What I'm presenting was actually our plan. We're embarking on this. It's about a 50 to 70 year plan to develop this acreage, and we've had a 1.5 year long planning process that we're just now unveiling. But to your point, it will optimize the development, and it'll make sure that we have development that's very compatible with an aviation use, for an airport, but also optimizes revenues and profitabilities for the airport and for the region.
What did the research and preparation tell you in planning for that you needed to get right?
What it told us is that when you're planning an asset that large, it's actually very challenging to look more than 10 or 15 years ahead. So we have what we call a 50 to 60 year plan, but what it really is some very specific things that'll happen over the next 5 to 10 years, and then it's all about preserving opportunities for the future so that the leaders who are in my position 30 or 40 years from now, it likely won't be me, will have options available to them based on intelligent decisions and intelligent planning that myself and my teammates made in 2012.
Because when you're looking that far ahead, adaptability of that kind of plan is fundamental.
It is very difficult. We, right now, a lot of people, you're seeing horizontal launch rocket systems coming into vogue with Sir Branson. So who knows, in 30 or 40 years, we could be launching customers vertically at Denver and really change the airport. So that's an extreme example, obviously, but we do want to make sure that we keep our options open. So we don't want to make short-term decisions now that, we don't want to take short-term profits now and sacrifice flexibility later. By definition, we're a 100-year asset. Our airport will be there, and it'll be the biggest economic generator in the state 100 years from now. So we have a responsibility to plan now for that future, and it can be very challenging because we don't know what the future holds.
Within the non-aviation business, are there particular sectors? What do you look at that you can actually utilize?
So right now, we're doing, as I said, the airport city is our plan for the future. So right now, we're focusing on current, near-term, and interim uses, and we do things like farming. We produce our own oil and gas. We've got actually 76 producing oil and gas wells on airport right now. We also have one of the largest alternative energy. It's a solar photovoltaic generating system, the largest in North America at an airport right now, and it generates about 6% of our use. But as we move forward, we're focusing on economic clusters that we believe are gathering naturally in the region. We have, we partner with municipalities and economic development corporations in the region that have targeted economic clusters that they're trying to bring to Denver and to Colorado. So we've gone through those clusters and looked at the ones that are most suitable to be on an airport and that will naturally want to congregate near the airport. And in Denver's case, it's logistics, it's biosciences, and it's alternative energy, and actually just the new energy economy in the future. And those are kind of three of our key. And then, of course, like other airports, we believe that aerospace will naturally locate there as well.
Why was it important to bring your experience to this event in particular?
I think the conference asked me to be here on behalf of the airport because we're the second biggest airport in the world by land area. So the airport city plan that we're unveiling now is really unprecedented in scale. There are many airports around the world and several here in Europe. I was on a panel with a colleague from Schiphol, and Schiphol has a wonderful airport city, but it's on a much smaller scale than Denver. So I hope the delegates and the conference organizers wanted to hear about a plan for something of the size that we have in Denver, because it's really unmatched anywhere in the world.
You mentioned about other airports. There are airlines obviously here as well. A great opportunity to share experiences and pick up some key pointers as well.
No, it really is. I think conferences like this are a wonderful opportunity, obviously, for us to showcase what's going on in Denver, but for and I benefit by listening to your point, airlines, airports, and experts from around the world, and I can take those ideas and then bring them back to Denver and work with my colleagues in Denver to implement best practices. So this is a great opportunity to gather people from around the world, and this conference in particular has a really kind of a depth and breadth of attendees and presenters that is really wonderful.